Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have some fun DIYs tonight. We are going to do some snowmen. So if you watched my previous video, I showed you the little snowmen that I had purchased from the Forest Acres Primitives from Etsy. So that is what I'm going to work on tonight. So super excited. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start with these two, well not start, I'm working on these two little snowmen, and I'm also going to use a 12-inch chunky board that I found at Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to open them up here. Figured I'd do that with you guys. So it comes with, it's like a 3D effect. It's really cool. But you know, the snowman, of course, his arms are separate, the heart, his scarf, and then that is the base. And then the snowman slides down inside the base. Both are the same, just one's smaller than the other. And guys, I was a mess in this video here, and when I was doing the big snowman, it ended up more off camera, so I cut most of that out and just on the small one, but like I said, I did both of them the same. So I am going to use the Dixie Belle drop cloth and the terracotta for his nose, and then I end up going with that barn red on his scarf. So I'm just going to start out by giving each of the snowmen one coat of the drop cloth. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did 2 coats. I did do 2 coats of the drop cloth on both sides. And then, like I said, I was a mess in this video. I'll explain his face when we get to that part. There's like little grooves where they've cut the face in there, so it's helpful. So now I'm just going to go with my little dauber with the Tim Holtz Distressing Ink in Walnut, and I'm going to go around the edges and distress this a little bit, make him look like a little dirty snowman. It ends up cute though. Oh, you guys got a sneak peek. Yeah, so you know, they turn out great. So just going around the edges, dirtying them up pretty good. So here's the part I cut out where I actually did his eyebrows because I redo them. I tried to use my embossing tool to do the eyebrows and it just turned out too thick. So I took my pen, I outlined the eyes, and I'm just using my embossing tool to kind of in a circular motion and filling those in with the ink, chalk paint. So now I'm just going to take the smallest embossing tool that I have, and I'm going to put 2 little white dots in his eyes, well, both of their eyes. And now I'm just going to use the drop cloth and try and fix my mistakes here. So I got a little dot of the ink there I covered up, and then I'm going to cover up the eyebrows on the big snowman, and then also the one on the little snowman. That's to my right, your guys' left eye. So I'm just going to cover those up, and then I'm going to go over it with my ink pen and draw them in. And I don't know what I did. I thought I was recording. That's what it was. And when I was doing his mouth on both of them, but I was not. So I do the same thing on the X's for his mouth. I go in those little grooves with my pen, and it's a very fine tip ink pen, and I just draw it on, so it turns out a lot better. See his little mouth? So now I'm just going to work on the stand. So I'm going to take the antique wax, which I do have this watered down a little so it's not as thick. And I'm just going to go over the top and on both of them, and then I wipe it back with a paper towel. And then I'm also going to go over the arms for both of the snowmen. Like I said, I do both of them the same. So I just give it a good coat, wipe it back with a paper towel on both of them. And then I'm also going to give both of the hearts a coat of the antique wax as well, and do the same thing, wipe it back. I guess I just left everything in here for you guys to see everything. Alright, so I am going to take the drop cloth again and a really small paintbrush, and I'm going to do the lines, the smaller ones, on both of the scarves. And then again, I thought I was recording when I did the barn red on the scarf, but I was not. But I do take that green paintbrush right there with the barn red, and I do the red on the, how many times can I say red? On the scarf. So now I'm just going to use the terracotta, and I'm going to go over both of the noses just with a light coat. And I just do one coat on both of them. That way the little lines still show through. And now I am just going to take the chunky board, and I am going to go over the entire thing, all four sides, both the ends with the antique wax. Just like I did the other pieces, I'm going to brush it on and wipe it off. I was looking for my lid. Couldn't find it. So I just give it, one good coat of that. So I will take a moment and say thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys really like what I do here. Please leave me, give me a like, thumbs up. Let me know what you think, what you might have done different. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. And don't forget to hit the notification bell and select all so you don't miss any future videos from me. So there, I told you I thought I was recording when I painted the red on there, but I was not. So I am just taking the Beacons Fabri-Tac glue, and we're going to glue everything down now. So I put the glue on, and then I'm just using the tip of it to kind of smear it around. So that I make sure that the glue, like the wood, is coated really, really well. So then I'm just going to line it up, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the scarf, and of course the same thing on the other one. Yeah, I'm going to have to move my camera, guys, because I just cannot stay in the center of the camera for some reason. I'll figure it out. It's all new to me. It's fun. I really enjoy making videos. It's really good for my depression and anxiety. Just saying. So, just glue those arms down, and then I'm going to glue the scarf down. They keep kind of moving on me a little bit, so. And when I put the snowman on the base, I kind of do it the hard way. So just learn from my mistakes here. Use a pen if you do for the eyebrows and the mouth. And then you'll see when I come to the base. So I'm just going to glue both the little noses down. Get them kind of at an angle like how I want them. I should have moved them over just a little bit. Your guys' left to where they kind of stuck off the face of the snowman, but it's okay. It's still cute. Okay, so we're going to set those aside, let them kind of tack up, and then we are going to work on these hearts. This printout, I purchased this, and I cannot remember off of the top of my head where I got it, but I will try and find that link. And this one, I just printed out on some copy paper. I do have one that I printed out on rice paper, but this project, I went ahead and used paper. So I traced them out. Here's another thing. Don't use pen, use pencil. My lines were kind of thin to see. But then I'm going to take my pencil and go back over and draw the heart about 1/8 of an inch maybe smaller. And the reason I'm doing that is so that when I glue this down to the heart, you can see the wood still, the outline of the heart. So I am just going to go ahead and cut those out. and dummy me, I didn't show you guys real well of what it looks like. So hopefully in the final review, you'll see, well, you kind of see there, it's cut just smaller so the edge of the heart shows through. So here's another thing. I did the wet decoupage where I wish I would have done the heat. I am not good at this, guys. So I just put a thin layer of the Mod Podge down, and then lined it up how, centered where I wanted it. Yes, I struggled. And then pushed it down, and then I go over the top of it with another coat of the Mod Podge and make sure that's tacked down. But I ended up with some bubbles. When I do use the heat press, I don't get all those wrinkles and bubbles. So, yeah, it's probably something I'm doing wrong. So, if you know that I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong here. But I do grab a piece of saran wrap and I push those bubbles down and get those out. So it didn't turn out too bad. It didn't wrinkle. I just had those bubbles, a few bubbles, but I did end up pushing them out. But I love this process, the whole process of this in here, so you guys would see what I did. So that way, for somebody out there who is better than I am, please tell me what I'm doing wrong. So here I just take the cellophane and I'm just pushing out the bubbles. The small one wasn't that bad. It just had a little bit. So then I'm just going to give it a quick dry with my heat gun. And then I am going to use the Beacon's Fabri-Tac glue. And there again, I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to use the nozzle of the glue to like spread it out. And then they just fit on there like a little puzzle piece. Oh, it's so cute. But see how I'm over there off the camera on the big one? Yeah. So I'm just going to take some twine, and the big one, I wrap it around 4 fingers 3 times, and then take a little piece of twine, tie it in the center, and cut off the excess. Got to make sure that I have it centered. And then I am not going to glue it down yet because I'm going to add to it. Look at me, remember not to glue first. So I just figure out how long I want my towel. The small one I wrap around 2 fingers 3 times. Do the same process, take a little piece of twine, tie it in the middle. I tie a knot and then cut off the excess. And no, I'm not going to glue it down yet. I do pull the wrong string and I messed up my bow here, so I had to fix it. Yeah, don't do as I do. So then I'm going to get 2 bulb pins, rusty bulb pins. Those I purchased from Amazon. I think I tell you guys that every time. And then 2 rusty bells. I'm going to put the rusty bell on the bulb pin and then pin it to the center of the twine bow. I do the same on both. There, see, it's so cute. So then I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and I'm going to glue those right down in the center of the heart. Cut off my little tails to the length that I want. And then this is Sweet Annie. One lady that I watch, she uses this a lot in her projects. Her name is Sandy. I'll leave a link to her channel. She's really good too. But she grows her own. I do not grow this. I actually found this at not a thrift store, like an antique shop down the road in Plainfield. And one of the ladies there, she grows it and she sells it. So I got a big old bundle for like $5. So I was pretty happy. So I glue 2 pieces on each side of the bow. And then I'm just going to tack my little tails down where I want them so that they don't move. And like I said, I do both of the snowmen the same. I know I've said that a couple times. Here's another don't do as I do. So I took the Tim Holtz distressing ink again, and I'm just going to distress his scarf. But you see there above the heart, I got a little too dark. So I took some antiquing wax and I am just dry brushing over that to kind of make it a little bit more wet. And then I go ahead and do the bottom a little bit as well. But then I take some of the drop cloth and I go back over above the heart and kind of dry brush over that to get it lightened up, which I actually get it. And it turns out okay, but yeah, I didn't realize that was going to go on so dark when I did that with the little dauber. So yeah, don't do that. Just dry brush. See, lightens up pretty good. Looks good. But on the bigger one, I ended up dry brushing some antique wax on it, and I didn't use the dauber, so he didn't get messed up. And then just going to go over the paper a little bit, distress it with the distressing ink. Got his little arm a little bit. So now I'm such a ding dong. I glued the base together, and then I popped the snowman in. You'll see in just a second. But it was kind of ridiculous because when I go to push the snowman in, the top moves. So I should have just popped the snowman in that top part, then put glue on and glued it down to the base. But hey, whatever, it worked. I guess it's not stupid if it works, right? So on the bigger one, instead of taking the base back apart, I went ahead and put some glue down the center, pushed my little snowman in there, and then lined it back up again. So now I'm just going to grab the chunky board that's going to be our base, and I am going to figure out where I want them and glue those down. So I put the big one kind of at an angle, and then the smaller one I glue on straight. So that the small one's kind of, and there it is, all glued down. I wasn't sure where I stopped because I went a few days between making the video, so I wasn't sure if I'd showed you guys the scarf or not. This little piece, I do not have any idea where I got it. Goodwill, yard sale, something. I end up giving it, I believe, 3 coats. I did sand it, but to cover that green up, I went over it 3 times with the drop cloth. And then again, I'm just taking the distressing ink, going around the edges, and then I go around the very edge too. You can see here, to kind of distress that and dirty it up there a little bit. The Let It Snow, I cut that out with my Cricut. I don't show that because I suck at weeding, so you guys don't need to suffer through me weeding all that out and having a heck of a time. So then I am just going to take that and lay it down kind of gently so that I can kind of see how I want them on there. Because I was going to put them at an angle, and then I was like, no, I don't like that. So I just get it straight across the best that I can. So then I just take that. That's actually for transfers. But hey, it worked. And I'm just going to rub it down. And then I wanted to make, because a couple of the spots towards the end, like on the L and the W, it didn't want to like stick real well. So I took, yep, the backing and kind of rubbed it like you would a transfer, just to make sure it was all pushed down really good. But then I do go over the entire top and with Mod Podge, just make sure that's sealed in. And then I take this double-sided, oh, I give it a quick dry first. But I take this double-sided puffy tape because the back of it has like a dip in it, so it wasn't going to glue to the base really well. So I put some of this on here, and then I tried to glue this on with the Fabri-Tac glue, and it just was not cooperating with me. So you'll see here in just a minute, after I skipped some, I cut out some of the video that was kind of important, so hopefully don't get too mad at me. But I take it back off, and I use the Beacon Quick Grip glue, and I put that on there. And then I use the Scotch permanent adhesive, and then with around the base, and I glued down the Spanish moss. And some of the places I did put some of the Fabri-Tac glue, just because it was thicker and I could get it to stick on there better. And there I was just seeing if I really liked the snow on top of the moss, which I did. So I used the spray adhesive again, and I go over the top of the moss, and I just sprinkle in the snow, the fake snow, real lightly. I don't cover it real heavy because I want it to look like it's fresh snow just starting to fall. So a light dusting. There we go. So I do that all the way around. And then I take some of the spray and I spray it on the end of the scarf and put some of the snow and just pat it down into that glue. And then I do the tip of their noses, and I also put some of it on the top of the heart. I'm sorry, on the top of the bow. And I just spray it on, put the snow in, push it down so it, soaked in that glue real well. And then I just turned it upside down and shook off all that I could, the excess. And then I take some of the glitter spray and I spray the entire thing. And that makes this project all done. They're just so cute. I love them. I hope you guys like them too. So here is a final view of the little snowman. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Like I said, if you have any comments of, let me know if you liked it, if you would have done anything different. I appreciate all your feedback. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. Until next time, have a good week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.